First strike. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning, when Admiral Sarah Chen was reviewing fleet deployment patterns in her office at Luna Command. The holographic display flickered with an urgent priority signal from New Eden, humanity's most distant colony in the Arcturus sector. This is Governor Marcus Reed of New Eden Colony. We are under attack by an unknown alien force. Their ships appeared without warning, massive vessels unlike anything in our database. They've already destroyed our orbital defenses, and wait, something's happening to the planet's crust. My God, there. The transmission cut off abruptly. Within hours, the long-range sensors confirmed what survivors' scattered transmissions had suggested. New Eden, a thriving colony of 15 million souls, had been systematically erased from existence. The attacking fleet had used some form of gravitational weapon to literally tear the planet apart, reducing it to an expanding field of debris. In the Emergency Council chamber beneath Geneva, Earth's unified government faced its greatest crisis. Defense Minister Yuki Tanaka's voice was steady despite the weight of her words. The attackers have been identified as the Vaxiri Dominion, a highly advanced civilization that controls a significant portion of the Orion Arm. According to data gathered by our deep space probes, they view themselves as the rightful rulers of this sector of space. New Eden's destruction appears to be their standard response to what they consider unauthorized colonization of their claimed territory. Admiral Chen studied the holographic representation of the Vaxiri ships. Their vessels were massive crystalline structures that seemed to defy conventional physics, more like floating cities than military craft. "What are our options?" she asked, knowing the answer wouldn't be encouraging. Conventional military response would be suicide, General Marcus Wong stated bluntly. Their technology is centuries ahead of our publicly displayed capabilities. The Vaxiri ships we observed at New Eden could likely destroy our entire surface fleet without breaking formation. A subtle smile crossed Admiral Chen's face. Publicly displayed capabilities being the operative phrase here, correct? The room grew very quiet. Minister Tanaka nodded slowly. It's time. Authorization code. Phoenix Protocol. Screens around the chamber lit up with classified files even most of the military leadership hadn't known existed. For the past 50 years, humanity had been preparing for exactly this scenario. While showing the galaxy a carefully crafted image of a young, still-developing spacefaring civilization, Earth had been secretly building something unprecedented in scope. Deep beneath the surfaces of Mars, Europa, and Titan, vast automated factories had been constructing advanced warships incorporating technologies that had been deliberately kept hidden. Quantum gravity drives, dark matter weaponry, and consciousness transfer systems that could back up and restore human minds, even if their physical bodies were destroyed, all developed in absolute secrecy. The Vaxiri expect us to either submit to their dominion or fight a hopeless battle with our known level of technology, Admiral Chen said. They have no idea what humanity is truly capable of, and that advantage of surprise may be the only thing that gives us a fighting chance. The defense minister's next words would set in motion humanity's greatest gambit. Initiate Case Omega. All hidden fleets are hereby activated. We will show these aliens exactly what happens when they underestimate human determination. In orbital shipyards hidden within dimensional bubbles around Saturn's rings, thousands of advanced warships began powering up their systems. In underground bases across the solar system, millions of soldiers and crew members emerged from stasis, ready to take their places in humanity's true defense force. The Vaxiri had made a terrible mistake. They thought they were dealing with a primitive civilization that would crumble at the first show of overwhelming force. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that had spent half a century preparing for this exact moment. As Admiral Chen looked at the classified fleet numbers scrolling across her display, she allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. The Vaxiri were about to learn a harsh lesson about humanity. We are at our most dangerous when you think you've already won. The silent response. In the 3 weeks following New Eden's destruction, Earth presented exactly the image the Vaxiri expected. a civilization in mourning and fear. Official channels broadcast scenes of candlelight vigils and public grieving. Military vessels maintained their regular patrols, making no obvious moves to reposition. To any watching eyes, humanity appeared to be paralyzed by the shocking demonstration of Vaxuri power. Behind this carefully orchestrated facade, Operation Shadowfall unfolded with precision that would have impressed even the Vaxuri themselves. Deep within Titan's methane seas, Admiral Chen stood in the true heart of human military power, the Prometheus Command Center. Holographic displays showed thousands of ships emerging from hidden dimensional pockets throughout the solar system. Each vessel represented decades of secret technological development, incorporating innovations that would have revolutionized civilian life if they hadn't been kept hidden for exactly this purpose. Status report on the Ghost Fleet, Chen commanded. Colonel Aisha Rahman, her chief of operations, gestured at the central display. 700,000 vessels at combat readiness. Admiral, the Lazarus Protocol has successfully uploaded backup consciousness patterns for all crew members. Even if our people die in battle, they can be restored. The Vaxuri won't be able to achieve any permanent casualties among our forces. Chen nodded, studying the fleet compositions. The ships themselves were marvels of human engineering. Unlike the crystalline aesthetics of Vaxuri vessels, human warships embraced a darker, more predatory design philosophy. Quantum phase armor rendered them nearly invisible to conventional sensors. Gravity lance weapons could match or exceed the planet-cracking capabilities the Vaxuri had demonstrated at New Eden. And our special projects. Rahman's smile held a predatory edge. Project Prometheus is fully operational. The quantum entanglement network linking all ships is active, allowing for instantaneous coordination across the entire fleet. Project Medusa is ready as well. Our cyber warfare systems have been analyzing the limited data we gathered from the New Eden attack. We've identified several theoretical vulnerabilities in Vaxuri technology. Most crucial was Project Zeus, humanity's ultimate technological achievement. Deep within Mars, engineers had constructed a device capable of manipulating the fundamental forces of reality itself. It was a weapon of last resort, one that could rewrite the laws of physics within a localized area. The kind of technology that could make even a godlike civilization pause. What's the status of the Vaxuri fleet? Chen asked, turning to the intelligence feeds. They're proceeding exactly as predicted, Rahman replied. Their main fleet is preparing for a formal invasion of human space. Long-range sensors detect approximately 10,000 ships gathering at their forward base in the Denebola sector. They still believe they're dealing with a pre-singularity civilization with barely 100 combat-capable vessels. Chen allowed herself a small smile. And our infiltration units. Ghost Team operatives have successfully penetrated key Vaxuri installations using our phase shift technology. They're in position to sabotage their primary communication networks the moment we launch our counterattack. The Vaxuri won't be able to call for reinforcements. The Admiral's expression grew serious. What about the New Eden survivors? Rescue operations are complete. We managed to extract nearly 2 million people using emergency quantum tunneling before the planet's destruction. They're safe in the backup habitats within Jupiter's atmosphere. As far as the Vaxuri know, they achieved total casualties. It was a testament to human preparation that they'd had evacuation systems in place for exactly this scenario. The Vaxuri thought they'd struck a devastating psychological blow. Instead, they'd simply confirmed what humanity had long suspected about the true nature of advanced galactic civilizations and justified 50 years of paranoid preparation. Time to drop the masquerade, Chen declared. Transmit the following to all Ghost Fleet vessels. Operation Stormbreak commences in 24 hours. Today we show the galaxy that humanity will not be another conquered species in the Vaxuri collection. Today we demonstrate why you should never mistake preparation for paranoia. As the orders went out, Chen reflected on the irony of the situation. The Vaxuri had attacked because they saw humanity as a potential future threat to their dominion. In doing so, They had guaranteed exactly the outcome they had hoped to prevent. Humanity was about to emerge onto the galactic stage, not as another subjugated race, but as a force that would fundamentally reshape the balance of power. The next 24 hours would change everything. The galaxy was about to learn why humans had always been so fascinated by stories of divine beings brought low by mortal ingenuity. Operation Stormbreak. The Vaxuri High Command received the transmission just as their invasion fleet completed its final battle formations. The message was brief, broadcast on all frequencies in perfect Vaxuri language. You should have just asked nicely. Seconds later, space itself seemed to tear open around their fleet. Where there had been empty void, hundreds of thousands of human warships materialized simultaneously. The quantum phase armor that had kept them invisible dropped away, revealing vessels of impossible design, darker than the space around them, absorbing even starlight. Supreme Commander Vaxthal's crystalline form vibrated with shock as sensor data flooded in. Impossible, they resonated. Their technological level. Multiple quantum events detected, their sensor officer announced. Energy signatures exceeding anything in our database. They're targeting our command and control nodes with some kind of reality distortion weapons. Before the Vaxuri could process this development, the human fleet executed what would later be known as the Thanatos maneuver. Every ship fired its gravity lance simultaneously, their attacks precisely coordinated through quantum entanglement networks. Space itself buckled under the combined gravitational assault. The Vaxuri's supposedly impenetrable crystal ships began to crack. Their own gravitational control systems, the pride of their civilization, were being turned against them. Where they attempted to establish stability, human weapons created chaos in the fabric of space-time itself. Admiral Chen watched from the bridge of her flagship, the HSS Nemesis, as the first phase of Operation Stormbreak unfolded. Status of Project Medusa. Cyber warfare systems fully engaged, Colonel Raman reported. Their quantum crystalline computing networks are experiencing cascading failures. Our virus is rewriting their base protocols faster than their security systems can respond. We're not just defeating their technology, we're converting it to our own use. The Vaxuri fleet's formation began to fragment as ship after ship lost control of its systems. Their attempts at communication were met with silence. The Ghost teams had perfectly executed their sabotage of the Vaxuri's faster-than-light communication network. They're attempting to open emergency wormholes, Raman announced. Executing Phase 2. Throughout the battlefield, human ships activated their quantum field generators in perfect synchronization. The fabric of space-time stabilized, but only in ways that human systems could navigate. The Vaxuri's escape attempts collapsed, their wormholes snapping shut or leading to empty space. This is Admiral Chen to all Ghost Fleet vessels. She transmitted. Execute Containment Pattern Delta. Remember, our goal isn't destruction, it's demonstration. The human fleet moved with surgical precision, herding the increasingly desperate Vaxuri ships into a carefully prepared killing zone. But instead of delivering the final blow, the human vessels took up positions around the trapped alien fleet. Chen opened a channel to the Vaxuri flagship. Supreme Commander Vaxthal, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You're currently surrounded by 700,000 warships, each carrying weapons that can match or exceed your own. Your communications are cut off. Your escape routes are sealed. But unlike you, we don't believe in unnecessary destruction. She paused, letting the situation sink in. We could do to your fleet what you did to New Eden. Instead, we're offering you a choice. The Vaxuri Dominion will immediately recognize Earth's sovereignty and our right to colonize any unclaimed world. You will provide reparations for New Eden, and you will acknowledge humanity as an equal power in this galaxy. In return, we allow your fleet to return home intact. And if we refuse? Vaxthal's translated voice carried both fear and defiance. Chen's response was calm but carried absolute conviction. Then we demonstrate exactly how much of our technology we're still keeping in reserve. The weapons we've shown you today. They're our diplomatic tools. Would you like to see our actual weapons?" As if to emphasize her point, a small portion of the human fleet activated their Zeus-class reality manipulation devices. In carefully controlled zones between the fleets, the basic laws of physics began to rewrite themselves. Matter transformed, energy patterns shifted, and space itself danced to human commands. "You have 1 hour to decide," Chen concluded. "We recommend using that time to consider very carefully what it means that we achieve this level of technology, while deliberately hiding our progress from the galaxy. Imagine what we might accomplish now that we no longer need to hide." As the ultimatum hung in the silence of space, Chen turned to her crew. "And now we wait. Either way, the galaxy changes today. The tide turns." Supreme Commander Vaxthal's response came with 15 minutes to spare in the ultimatum. The crystalline being's holographic form appeared in the Nemesis's command center, its faceted surface reflecting a spectrum of light that suggested both agitation and grudging respect. "We accept your terms," Admiral Chen, Vaxthal announced. "Though I must ask, how? How did your species advance so far without detection? Our monitoring systems are the most sophisticated in known space." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "We learned early in our history that appearing weak while building strength was often the wisest path. Every time your observation posts reported on our primitive ship designs, they were seeing exactly what we wanted them to see. We built our real fleet in dimensional pockets where your sensors couldn't reach. But the resources required, the infrastructure. Did you ever wonder why we seemed so inefficient in our mining operations? Why we appeared to waste so much energy in our industrial processes? Everything you saw as technological backwardness was carefully calculated. We were hiding our true capabilities in plain sight." The implications seemed to crystallize in Vaxthal's mind. Their form shifted colors rapidly as they processed this revelation. "The other species we've subjugated, they could have done the same. Any civilization could, given sufficient motivation and foresight. You gave us that motivation 50 years ago, when our first deep space probes encountered the remnants of other civilizations you'd absorbed. We understood then what we needed to become to survive in this galaxy." Throughout the fleet, similar conversations were taking place as human commanders engaged with their Vaxuri counterparts. The aliens were discovering that humanity's preparations went far beyond mere military capability. Earth had developed comprehensive plans for everything from cultural integration to technological cooperation. In the Nemesis's Strategic Command Center, Colonel Raman was already coordinating the next phase. "The Vaxuri communication network is coming back online. Under our control, of course. We're broadcasting evidence of their fleet's surrender across their empire. Multiple subordinate species are already requesting diplomatic contact with Earth." "And Project Renaissance?" Chen asked. "Ready to implement. Our cultural and technological exchange programs can begin immediately. We'll start with humanitarian aid to their frontier worlds, showing strength through compassion rather than just military power." The Admiral nodded approvingly. This had always been the true goal, not just defeating the Vaxuri, but fundamentally changing the way civilizations interacted in this sector of space. Humanity was positioning itself not as a conqueror, but as a catalyst for change. Reports began flowing in from across Vaxuri space. Their subject species, inspired by humanity's example, were demanding reforms. The Dominion's rigid hierarchy was cracking, not through violent revolution, but through the simple revelation that there was another way. "Message from Earth Command," Raman announced. "The new Eden survivors are ready to make their public appearance." The Vaxiri leadership's reaction to learning that we saved millions of people they thought they'd destroyed should be interesting. Chen turned back to Vaxthal's hologram. "Supreme Commander, there's someone I'd like you to meet." She nodded to Raman, who activated another holographic projection. Governor Marcus Reed, the supposedly deceased leader of New Eden, appeared alongside his family. "Greetings, Supreme Commander. I look forward to discussing the terms of our colony's reconstruction. We have some fascinating ideas about incorporating both human and Vaxiri architectural styles in the new design. The color drained from Vaxthal's crystalline form. You survived. How many? About 2 million of us, Reed replied calmly. Earth had quantum tunneling evacuation systems in place long before your attack. We've spent the last few weeks in quite comfortable habitats hidden in Jupiter's atmosphere. Your sensor networks never detected a thing. This final revelation seemed to complete the Vaxiri commander's psychological transformation. Their form shifted to the deep blue that humans had learned indicated profound contemplation. Chen nodded. We agree. Though this time, we'll be showing you our real technology, not the carefully crafted illusions we've maintained for 50 years. I think you'll find humanity has developed some rather interesting innovations while we were playing pretend. As the diplomatic arrangements began, Chen looked out at the massive fleet surrounding them. Humanity's hidden strength finally revealed. The galaxy was about to enter a new era, and Earth would help shape it not through conquest, but through the careful application of strength, wisdom, and calculated revelation. Dawn of a new era. 1 year after the confrontation that became known as the Revelation Day, Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of Harmony Station, a massive space installation orbiting the rebuilt New Eden colony. The station itself was a testament to the new era. Its crystalline sections, built with Vaxiri technology, seamlessly merged with human quantum architecture, creating something entirely new. Below, New Eden's surface gleamed with the combined achievements of multiple civilizations. Where destruction had reigned, a thriving metropolis now stood, its spires reaching toward the stars. The city served as the headquarters for the newly formed Galactic Cooperation Council, where representatives from Earth, the reformed Vaxiri Dominion, and dozens of formerly subjugated species worked together to forge a different kind of future. Quite a view, isn't it? Colonel Raman approached, having just arrived from Earth. Hard to believe this was all Debrisfield a year ago. Chen nodded. The Vaxiri engineers were amazed by how quickly we reconstructed the planet. I don't think they fully understood the capabilities of our matter reorganization technology until they saw it in action. Speaking of the Vaxiri, Raman said, pulling up a holographic report, the transition programs are exceeding expectations. 80% of their former subject worlds have successfully implemented the new autonomous governance systems. There's been remarkably little resistance from the old guard. Fear is a powerful motivator, Chen mused. The fact that we could have destroyed their fleet but chose not to made a lasting impression. But it's more than that. I think they were ready for change. The Dominion's philosophy of conquest and absorption had reached its natural limits. The station's quantum communications array chimed, signaling an incoming transmission. Supreme Commander Vaxthal's holographic form appeared, their crystalline structure now incorporating subtle design elements inspired by human aesthetics, a small but significant sign of cultural exchange. Admiral Chen, Colonel Raman, they greeted. I thought you'd want to know immediately. The Council has just unanimously approved the initiative. Chen smiled. The Stellar Initiative was humanity's most ambitious proposal yet, a massive cooperative project to develop new technologies for cosmic exploration and advancement. Rather than competing for resources in known space, the combined civilizations would work together to reach beyond the galaxy's borders. The first joint expedition fleets are ready, Vaxthal continued. Human quantum drives combined with Vaxiri crystal ships, crews made up of all species. We've already detected promising signals from the Andromeda Galaxy. To think just a year ago, we would have considered such cooperation unthinkable. Sometimes the best way to change minds is to show people a better path, Chen replied. Humanity didn't just prepare for war. We prepared for peace. We built our hidden fleets hoping we'd never need to use them, and developed our technologies with the goal of eventually sharing them. Raman brought up another holographic display, showing the status of various cooperative projects across known space. Former Vaxiri military installations were being converted into research centers. Worlds that had once been subjugated were now thriving members of the interstellar community, and humanity's long-hidden innovations were being combined with technologies from other civilizations to create solutions none could have achieved alone. There are still challenges ahead. Vaxthal noted, some of our former military commanders struggle with the new reality, and we've detected unusual energy signatures from beyond the galactic rim, possibly other civilizations with their own ideas about conquest. That's precisely why this new alliance is so important, Chen said. United, we're far stronger than any of us were alone. Humanity proved that by hiding our advancement until the right moment. But now we've proven something even more important, that cooperation and mutual respect can achieve what force and domination never could. As if to emphasize her point, a massive ship emerged from quantum space near the station. It was the first of the new Explorer-class vessels, its design a perfect fusion of human and Vaxiri engineering. Its mission was to carry representatives from every allied species to the edge of known space, not to conquer, but to discover. The galaxy's watching us, Raman observed. Every civilization out there that might have been planning their own conquests is seeing what we've achieved through cooperation instead of conflict. Chen watched as the Explorer-class ship prepared for its historic journey. That was always the real goal of our 50 years of preparation. Not just to defend ourselves, but to create an opportunity for genuine change. We hid our true strength not out of fear, but because we were waiting for the right moment to show a better way. As the massive vessel disappeared into quantum space, carrying the hopes and dreams of multiple civilizations, Chen reflected on how far it had come. Humanity had emerged from obscurity to reshape the galaxy not through overwhelming force, but through the careful balance of strength and wisdom. They had proven that the most powerful force in the universe wasn't advanced technology or massive fleets, but the ability to imagine and work toward a better future. The dawn of this new era brought with it endless possibilities, and somewhere out there, in the vast expanse of space, other civilizations were watching, learning, and perhaps beginning to understand that the true measure of advancement wasn't the ability to conquer, but the wisdom to cooperate and grow together. The end.